Today, we are going to be diving into the topic of co-op housing because everyone wants to live with a partner in Palia. I can't wait to live with my now fiance. Yeah, snagged me a baddie. But co-op housing has been a huge topic in the community. It's right up there with animal husbandry and placing jars, which honestly, I don't know why we can't place jars yet, but I digress. I wanted to wait a little bit more before I did this video because I wanted to get some more information. However, with Bitcraft dropping housing and co-op housing tomorrow, I decided to kind of dust off my notes and dive back into this video so I can really get it out there. So question number one, how will co-op housing work? How can I live with a friend? This is the main question I get all the time in my stream and YouTube comments. How will co-op housing actually work? Since Singularity 6 hasn't dropped exact details yet, we're in kind of the speculation mode, but I've got a solid theory based on how Palia already handles housing permission. Picture this, you go to your housing menu where you currently grant editor permissions to friends for your plot. Co-op housing could add a new option like roommate or co-owner. You can send an invite to your friend, they'd accept, and boom. Their housing plot menu now includes your shared plot and the dropdown. They could then toggle between their solo plot and a co-op one, keeping things seamless. But with that, I do kind of get like a sub question sometimes when we discuss this on my stream. And it's, do I think that they're going to make the plot size bigger? Just expand the plot? I don't think they are. I truly don't think they're going to make the plot sizes bigger because they would have to go through all the skins and expand and add more land to it. I don't think they're going to do that. Question number two, will co-op housing increase our decor limit? Now, this is a tricky one, and I see it pop up a lot in the comments. My gut says yes, we'll get a decor limit increase, but don't expect it to double. Palia's devs are cautious with increases if you look at the storage and how they handled it recently, which they bumped up by 4,000 extra slots, which was awesome, but it wasn't extremely game-changing. Yes, it was great. I'm glad that they did it. Everyone needed it because we're a bunch of hoarders, but I think co-op housing will follow suit, maybe a 20 to 30% boost to the decor limit to account for multiple players contributing. So that leads to the question, why not more? Well, too many decor items can tank performance, especially with Palia's servers juggling all those player plots. Plus, they'll want to keep things fair for solo players who don't share plots. That said, I do see a system like Stardew Valley where co-op players get a shared decor pool, but can still place their own items independently. That's always a touchy one when we talk about that one on stream, because main reason is I don't decorate in Palia. I have an IKEA plot. I just drop everything down, and then I take things off when I want to go give it to people, like all the plushies that I get. I do a plushie exchange. And yes, you could play Palia not for the decorating. I play Palia for the lore. A lot of you guys know I love the lore. I play for hunting, fishing, everything like that. I always get a YouTube comment that's like, why are you playing Palia if you're not decorating? There's a lot of things you can do with Palia without decorating. Now, question number three, what happens with storage and co-op housing? Storage is a huge part of Palia. We all know this. Everyone freaks out if we don't get enough storage. And this question comes up all the time. Right now, player storage is tied to your character, not to your plots. So you can access it across all your plots. So with that, I don't think co-op housing will merge your personal storage with your roommates. That'll be a logistical nightmare. Instead, I'm hoping for a new feature, plot-specific storage. Imagine a shared chest location on your co-op plot where both players can deposit items. You'd move stuff from your personal storage to the plot storage through your inventory, which is pretty much just clicking and dragging and then putting it in and then running over and dropping it. That's pretty much where I'm getting at. Now, there is a downside to this. I do believe that maybe one player will overlap or hog all the space. So maybe they should drop in a per player contribution limit. One player is allowed X amount of space and same with the other player. Question number four, and this one is a doozy. Will co-op housing increase the number of crops we can grow? Before we get into this question, I do want to say this is a very hot topic and controversial topic, and I have a controversial opinion on this in Palia. Me personally, I don't want that much more. I honestly am golden with what we have right now because I know the system is there for a reason and we have that amount for a specific reason. But if they were to give us more, I'm golden with only 3 more crop spaces. I don't want to cheese through the game really fast, but that's just my opinion. But will co-op housing increase the number of crops we can grow? So for me, this is a yes, and here's why. In Palia, crop limits are tied to players, not plots. Each player can place a certain number of crops, but there's no cap on how many crops a single plot can hold. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there was a hack where a player was able to stuff over 50 crops on one plot. They were able to go up to Bedrew and buy 25 at a time instead of just 1 at a time. And that showed that the only limit was how many you could purchase and how many you can hold. So that's proof that the system is player bound, not plot bound. So in co-op housing, if you and your roommate each bring your full crop allowance into the shared plot, you're effectively doubling the crops in one space. I do think this can lead to some epic farming setups and some really cool plots. So my only concern with this is balance. Would it be fair if co-op players get more crops than solo players? Because I can already see the complaints coming in saying, hey, this is no longer fair. I'm a solo player. I don't have any friends, or I don't have anybody to play Palia with. So to prevent the complaints from other players, maybe Palia should add a crop limit to plots, or they should increase it, but not by much. I truly don't think that we should have all these crops, like an entire plot filled with crops, because you're just cheesing through the game really quickly. Question number 5 is a good one. Who gets the money when selling items on co-op plots? This is a tough question, and this is where things will get messy. Right now, selling items in Palia is player-based. Your sell bin will follow you across all your plots. So on one plot, if you drop something in, and you go to another plot and you check your sell bin, it's still there. So if you have co-op housing and you place items in the sell bin, who gets the money? How would this work in co-op housing? So I got 3 solutions on this one. I got 3 possibilities. Number 1 is a shared sell bin with split gold. The co-op plot has a shared sell bin, and any gold earned is split evenly between the roommates. This is simple, but could cause drama if one player contributes more items than the other, and the other one is benefiting. 2 individual sell bins on the same plot. Each player has their own sell bin on the co-op plot tied to their personal gold. This keeps things separate but might feel less co-op, and it could add a little bit of clutter to the plot visually. I know that it won't look the best if there's 2 sell bins right next to each other, or one sell bin here and another sell bin there. It's not going to look good, and I do get where that's going to come into play with all these like player housings and the tour boards and stuff like that. They're not going to want that. Now, number 3 is customizable profit sharing. When setting up the co-op plot, you could possibly agree on profit sharing ratio, like 60-40 if one player does more work, or if you're trying to help another player reach a gold goal. This would be super flexible, but it can be very complex to implement, and Palia tends to keep things streamlined. They want to keep things easy, they want to focus on the cozy, and I don't think adding in math is something players want. So for me, option 1 is the go-to for simplicity. But the big challenge here is preventing conflicts. If one player is selling all the plot crops without telling the other, that's going to cause some drama, and that's going to be a serious issue. But it'll need careful balancing to avoid these issues like I talked about earlier. I'm curious about your opinions on this, because I love talking about co-op housing. My fiance, so crazy to say, she enjoys Palia, but she refuses to play it until animal husbandry comes in, and she's also very excited for co-op housing. Those are her like 2 things where she's like, I'll get into Palia if they add those 2 things. So since they're coming, she'll eventually play. But I'm curious about your opinions. What features would you like to see in co-op housing? Let me know in the comments down below. But while you guys are down there commenting, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. If you want to know the exact moment I upload a video, be sure to join the Discord. The Discord is a super happy and friendly community where everybody is welcome. If you're watching this right now, this very second, there's a chance I'm streaming on twitch.tv/Perzival. Yes, I am a Twitch streamer. I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, no longer Saturdays, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys like podcasts, I got 2. One is What Dwells Beneath. It is a true crime and paranormal podcast. It is my baby. We just hit 55-star ratings on Spotify, which is sick. And then I also have Paliantology. Paliantology is my Palia podcast where we talk about the game, the lore, everything in between. So if you guys want to check that out, both of those are in the description down below. Both links are down there. And last but not least, be sure to check me out on all my social media. I have X, Instagram, Blue Sky. I got it all. Just check it out. I'll greatly appreciate it. Thank you. That's the video. Bye.